Hey everyone, Eric here, and welcome to the Fourth Doctor Reviewed. Now, for those of you who haven't been with my channel since about late October to early December 2016, might not know that I did a sort of trilogy of reviews of the 80s Doctor's eras, from Peter Davison to Sylvester McCoy. And now that I've finished the behemoth that was a Fourth Doctor marathon, I figured, you know what, I'll review his era in just about the same style. So, starting with the character himself, is there really anything that needs to be said? I mean, basically anyone that thinks about Doctor Who automatically pictures the long scarf, the coat, the hat, the curly hair, the eccentric attitude that was Tom Baker's Doctor. He is the image of Doctor Who. He's got the perfect eccentric alien personality with still the friendly nature and, a little bit of the humorous ego when it comes to particularly flying the TARDIS. In terms of companions, the Fourth Doctor had excellent companions. Sarah Jane, quite simply put in the words of the Doctor, she was his best friend. They had excellent chemistry together, and her goodbye, out of all of Tom Baker's companions, was the saddest of the lot. And it was basically the best executed of them all. Leela also worked off the Doctor quite well. She was comedic, but still serious when she needed to be, quite like Tom Baker himself, but, in her own way. Romana 1 wasn't quite as good as Romana 2, but I attribute that to Romana 1 having set in the goal of retrieving the segments of the key to time, and as such, wasn't willing to put up with much of the Doctor's crap. However, Romana 2 improved much more upon the character, not only because it was a different actress playing her, which obviously would bring a different portrayal, but her chemistry with the Doctor also improved greatly in season 17 and 18. They had the sort of chemistry of equals and friends that the Doctor and Sarah Jane had, while also having Romana be another sort of think tank for the Doctor to work off of. Oh, speaking of think tanks, K9, K9 was just a fun time. Whether he was voiced by John Leeson or David Brierley, he was just a fun time to have around. Let's be honest here. And Adric wasn't as welcome, to be honest. When I was looking through the Fifth Doctor's stories, I didn't quite understand the hate towards Adric. I mean, yes, he was a brat in Fort Doomsday, let's be honest here. But now, I can sort of see that a little more. He felt a little shoehorned in, really, to be honest. Much more so than Tegan and Nyssa, for sure. Going on to the quality of his stories, the Fourth Doctor had a run of just fantastic stories, most of the time. I found that season 15 and 17 were particular consistent low points, fascinatingly enough. I mean, yes, season 15 did have the Sunmakers, which, while camp, it was an excellent time, and the Invisible Enemy, which introduced K9 among other things, which just automatically grants it bonus points, but it also had Horror of Fang Rock, which the Rutans, the primary enemy of the story, didn't get much to do, really, and the ship survivors were basically useless to the story. And the Invasion of Time, which it didn't make much sense. The Invasion of Time didn't make much sense whatsoever. And season 17, while of course having City of Death and Shada, also had disappointments like the Horns of Nimon and, kind of Destiny of the Daleks. I enjoyed it, but I can see why people wouldn't. But essentially, everything other than season 15 and 17 was superb. Season 12 had stuff like The Ark in Space and Genesis of the Daleks, which you can't argue with Genesis of the Daleks, let's be honest here. Season 13 had classics like Pyramids of Mars, Brain of Morbius, and The Seeds of Doom. Season 14 had stuff like Robots of Death or The Face of Evil. Season 16 was one of the more consistently good seasons, with, The Pirate Planet, Power of Crawl. Basically, all of season 16 was fantastic. But, in my opinion, they all pale in comparison to the magic that was season 18. All the stories in season 18 had fantastic ideas and excellent execution behind them, and the set designs were all excellent. Now, upon watching Logopolis the first few times, I got that, I suppose it was a big deal that the Fourth Doctor was regenerating. He spent 7 seasons in the role, of course. But it didn't quite have as much effect on me. Until, however, I watched it at the tail end of going through all of his broadcast stories, and then the flashbacks to all the villains, and then later to all of his companions. That hit me so hard after watching everything that came before. For now, I see the full journey of the Fourth Doctor, which was just brilliant, let's be honest here. Well, I think that's all I have to say about the Fourth Doctor's era. Fantastic overall, great companions, great stories most of the time. And until my next video, have a bloody brilliant day, my dears.